afternoon. This is Olive Oil Well, sharing the news from station KWRX Me today on snakes. Tamnophis cirtalis can be dangerous. Grass snakes, not rattlesnakes, can be deadly and require courage. That's why I have to tell you this very important piece of news I was just made aware of today. A couple in Sweetwater, Texas had a lot of potted plants during a recent cold spell. The wife was bringing them indoors to protect them from a possible freeze. It turned out that a little garden snake was hidden in one of the plants. When it had warmed up, it slithered out. The wife saw it go under the sofa and let out a very loud scream. The husband, who was taking a shower, ran out into the living room naked to see what the problem was. She told him there was a snake under the sofa. He got down on the floor on his hands and knees to look for it. About that time, the family dog came and cold-nosed him on the back side. He thought the snake had bitten him, so he screamed and fell over on the floor. His wife thought he had had a heart attack, so she covered him up, told him to lie still, and called an ambulance. The attendants rushed in, but would not listen to his protests. They loaded him up on the stretcher and started carrying him out. About that time, the snake came out from under the sofa. The emergency medical technician saw it, dropped his end of the stretcher. That's when the husband broke his leg and why he had to stay in the hospital after evaluated for his possible snake bite. The wife still had the problem of the snake in the house. She called on the neighbor who volunteered to capture the snake. He armed himself with a rolled up newspaper and began poking under the couch. Soon he decided, it was gone, and told the woman. She then sat down on the sofa in relief, but while relaxing, her hand dangled in between the cushions where she felt the snake wriggling around. She screamed and fainted. The snake rushed back under the sofa. The neighbor man, seeing her lying there, passed out and seeing her that was passed out, he tried to revive her with CPR. Meanwhile, the neighbor's wife, who had just returned from shopping at the grocery store, saw her husband's mouth on the woman's mouth. She slammed her husband in the back of the head with a bag of canned goods. This knocked him out and cut his scalp to the point where it needed stitches. The noise woke the woman from her dead faint. She saw her neighbor laying on the floor with his wife bending over him. She assumed that the snake had bitten him. She went to the kitchen, got a small bottle of whiskey, and began pouring it down the man's throat. By now, the police had arrived. They saw the unconscious man, smelled the whiskey, assumed that the drunken fight had occurred. They were about to arrest them all when the woman tried to explain how it happened over a little garden snake. The police called an ambulance, which took away the neighbor and his sobbing wife. Now, the little snake again crawled out from under the sofa. One of the policemen drew his gun and fired at it. He missed the snake and hit the leg of the end table. The table fell over. The lamp on the table shattered. And as the bulb broke, it started a fire in the drips. The other policeman tried to beat out the flames. He fell through the window into the yard on top of the family dog. The dog, startled, jumped out and raced into the street. An oncoming car swerved to avoid the dog and smashed into the parked police car. Meanwhile, neighbors saw the burning drapes and called in the fire department. The firemen had started raising the fire ladder when they were halfway down the street. That rising ladder tore out the overhead wires, put out the power, and disconnected the telephones in a 10-square city block area. But they had not had any problem with the house fire. They were able to get the fire out. Amazing. Time passed. Both men were discharged from the hospital. The house was repaired. The dog came home. The police required a new car and got a new one, and it was all set. The world looked very good one more time. Now today, this very morning, the husband and wife were watching TV, and the weatherman announced a cold snap for the night. The wife asked her husband if he thought they should bring in the plants for the night. That's when he just up and shot her, proving beyond a doubt that garter snakes are deadly. Reporting from KWRXY Me, this is Olive Oil. Well, what do you know?